as you know, this is the second cohort. Previous cohorts, although AI was around back then, we didn't have all these AI note-taking tools. And as much as I use AI an awful lot, and have been doing so for quite a few years, actually, it does create issues for us with the labs. So we're going to ask you, if you're using an AI note-taking tool, can you switch it off? The reason is, when we do the breakouts, we end up with AIs in the room, and they just don't do the practice particularly well at the moment. Okay, that's what we found. So we end up with sometimes just one person in the lab. So if you're using an AI note-taking tool, we understand, so you've got the notes, etc. But we'd rather, certainly during the labs, you just really pay attention. Would you switch it off? If you don't switch it off, we're going to give you 5-10 minutes, and then somebody, I won't name them so they don't get picked on, will be removing you from the lab. So we all okay with that? Make sense? This is yes. This is yes. This means I have no idea what you're saying, Steve, because the keeps breaking up. We've had some technical issues this morning. Already had to do a Mac shutdown and a Mac startup. So if anything should happen, it probably won't, but if it should happen, you guys know what to do. You get with someone, get in a room, ask them to close their eyes, ask them to relax and practice something, okay? We always make use of whatever's going on. And by the way, I think it's an important aspect of being a hypnotherapist. One of the things to learn is clients certainly don't always act the way you would like them to act. They don't always do what you'd like them to do. And sometimes things happen, and we utilize whatever happens in the room. I've been working with clients where outside of my clinic, somebody started drilling up the roads, and I had the guy sitting there with his eyes closed and go, and as you drill deeper into trance, I utilized it. Yeah. So if something happens, hey, I'm going to share with you my family motto. Okay. This is a family motto I talk to my children when the world didn't do what they'd like it to do. So we can all repeat this. Okay. I think you'll find this really useful. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. And then we just deal with it and we move on. Okay, so that's our approach. By the way, it's my customer service motto as well. Oh dear, how sad, never mind. Let's move on. So is everyone good? Because I'm in a really good mood and I've had my coffee, and Fiorella was saying she misses my coffee mug. I have a coffee mug that says crabby in the morning until I get my coffee, but it's crabby even after I've had my coffee. So let's have a swig of this. How many of you, this is your first lab? Let me have a show of hands. Is this your first lab? Oh, let me have a quick look. That's probably about 30%. So the rest of you, well done, overachievers, my type of people. So how many people, is this your second lab? Yeah, so, yeah. Oh, you guys, I love you. Yeah. How many of you, is this actually going to be your third lab? Oh. Tanya, Fiorella, make notes. Yeah, they're on my Christmas card list. You people are amazing. Okay, so listen, there will be some repetition. I'll say that again. There will be some repetition because repetition is the mother of skill, but practice makes better. I don't know if you guys have done this with me, but clasp your hands together like so. Okay, can you see that? Yeah, clasp your hands together like so. And have you got the left thumb or the right thumb on top? If you've got the left thumb, it means you're smart, you're intelligent, you're a quick learner. Okay, don't switch them over. Okay, if you've got the right thumb, you're smart, intelligent, wise, and sexy. There we go. All right. So, yes, look at it. We now know. Okay. Okay. How does it feel? How does it feel? Okay. Normal. Okay. Right, now this is your first task of the day. Pull your hands apart and interlock them all the other way. Miriam's going, ooh. Okay. Have you done that? Just check. Have you actually done that? Look at mine. They're all interlocked the other way. Some people will do this, yeah, and just change the thumbs, yeah. How does that feel? I know you can't chat because I've got you all like this, yeah. Actually, I found a way to stop people using the chat room for your. They have to sit like this. Yeah. How does it feel compared to the other way? Weird? Different? Yeah. I had one lady say evil, but she was 6'6", weighed 4.5 stone, and she was anorexic, and she had a lot going on in her life. Go back to the first way. Oh, how does that feel? Oh, comfortable. Good. Yeah. Did you know that even clasping your hands, there is a way that is familiar? And if you do something new, normally it feels different, strange, unusual, weird, hopefully not evil. Okay. First way, go to the second way. Second way. Second way. And pay attention to what you're doing, because this is what we're going to be doing during the labs. Not this. You're not going to get to week 16 and go, look what I got from this course. I can now clasp my hands both ways. You're going to get more than that. Practice. Pay attention to what you're doing. Make sure you are actually doing it, because some of you have already, you're doing something different. You're not doing what we've just shown you. You pace it and you pace it. You do something new consciously. You might even get it wrong, but you pay attention, and with a bit of practice, it goes from being conscious to being unconscious. That's what we do as hypnotherapists. We teach people to stop doing something they don't want to do anymore, and we teach them to do something else, and they do that unconsciously. Now, shake your hands out. Do it the first way, notice how it feels. Do it the second way, notice how it feels. Not so weird. Yeah. Now, you can put your hands down, okay? I'm not going to get you to stick your hands. I'm not going to teach you that one, not yet. That's the purpose of these labs. The labs, you will feel sometimes strange, maybe a bit confused, maybe not follow all the steps. Sometimes we won't even give you all the steps, yeah? I want you to get comfortable being uncomfortable, so you can deal with whatever is presented in front of you. Okay. And then with practice, we're going to build upon the practice. There comes a point where all the things at the very beginning might have seemed a bit of a challenge, because we're going to be teaching you to pay attention to someone's breathing, pay attention to their language. And you're going to be spinning multiple plates at one time. It's a bit like driving a car. Do you remember any of you that drive a car? They give you the steering wheel, they give you the pedals, and they expect you to watch out for people on the roads and things like that. But after a while, it becomes second nature. And it's the same with this, okay? So one of the things we've got to do is get you out of your own way, okay? One of the reasons this training in particular has been so successful and has such an amazing feedback, and we were really pleased with it, is because we use hypnosis to teach hypnosis. Okay, we are communicating to your unconscious, Tina, myself, Paul, the assistants, so that you are creating new neural pathways inside your mind that enable you to output. So what you're doing is, when you watch all the videos, that's input. Information's going in. As you practice, that's output. Output makes the difference. And each time you output, you're creating a new neural pathway. And then you suddenly find yourself doing something. You go, how the heck did I know how to do that? It's beautiful. Yeah, it's lovely. It's an amazing experience. So we're going to get you out of the way. So what I want you to do is hold your hands out like so, palms face up. I need to just move my microphone just to be in the way. And in the left hand, your left hand, I want you to imagine and see yourself the way you are now. And this is a chance to be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Okay? With maybe fears, anxieties, hang-ups, limiting beliefs about your ability. Now, there'll be some people here that go, I'm going to breeze through this, But most people, the most average human, is going to come in and they're going to be bringing in some limitations or some baggage or some ideas, because we're all learning new things. And this is a chance for you to be ruthlessly honest. Actually, do you know, I have a limiting belief. I believe I can't imagine. I believe maybe I can't visualize. I believe maybe I can't come up with stories quick enough, or somebody else. Put that there. And I don't know how you're going to put that there. Okay, for some of you, it would be very clear representation. Some of you might even have a symbol of some sort. But just use your imagination for this. Okay, this is the left side. This is a representation of what's inside of you that could be stopping you from creating the most amazing experience for yourself over the course of this course, the next 16 weeks or so. I want you to see yourself there, maybe with an attitude. Some people come in to trainings like this with an attitude such as, well, I've already done training. Do you know who I am? Yeah. You ever met anyone like that? Or they might come in with the attitude, I've already trained as a psychotherapist and I've done this training, blah, blah. All I hear is blah, blah, blah when I hear that. Yeah. I'm not interested in what they tell me they've done. I'm interested in what they can do. Don't tell me what you've done. Show me. Or it could be someone who goes, I'm going to show everyone what I can do. Don't bring your ego in. Come in with beginner's mind. If you happen to be in a room with somebody who's going, blah, 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 this is what I've done, that's the time to go, excuse me, I need to go and buy some cigarettes. Even if you don't smoke, then that's your excuse to leave. Okay. And then when you bump into them again, they go, where did you go? So I forgot my cigarettes. And you go again. Okay. Don't allow anybody to hijack your experience. Okay. It's your experience. It could be the sort of person that goes, I've heard this before, in which case they've just closed their mind to learning something new. It could be maybe you approach it and go, oh, is this like that? What you're trying to do is make it match something you already know. Just let the information in. So in that left representation, that's the way you are with any hang-ups, any hold-ups, any blocks, obstructions, any challenges, any limiting beliefs. And on the other hand, I want you to imagine the way you want to be, the way you know that when you show up in this particular way, you're open to learning, you're open to new ideas, you're open to letting the new information into your mind and into your body through practice. You're willing to listen, to learn. You're willing to make mistakes. You're willing to be uncomfortable. You're willing to not even know what all the instructions were, but you paid attention. So you do what you think the instructions were. You're willing to set aside the time to do the work. And whatever other attitudes, we talked about AI. I think AI is important. A stands for attitude. I is for the intention. Set your intention to show up. To really show up, to be the best version, learning version of yourself that you can be, and to surprise yourself so pleasantly and pleasantly surprise yourself. There's what we know, what we don't know, what we don't even know, what we don't know. You haven't got a clue how much you don't know yet. And I find that really exciting. I'm constantly learning. And I want you to see that version of yourself. Now, this is a moment of choice and decision. You get to choose. Do you want to choose what's right? Or do you want to let go of what's left? You get to choose. And hopefully you make the right choice. Now, what I want you to do is take a deep breath in and bring that right choice right inside of you. Imagine pulling it into you and integrating it inside of you. Put it inside of you and let your unconscious know this is what you want. Sometimes we're very permissive. We ask the unconscious, and there's times we just tell it. We give it the instructions because it's part of you. It's not separate from you. It is you. It's you running your own brain, running your own neurology, telling your own system, this is what I want. This is how I want to show up, and let go of the rest. Just let go of it. Let go of what no longer serves you anymore. And when you're ready, take a deep, deep breath in and just bring yourself back to this place, to this space, to this time. That's right. Just have a bit of a shake out. Now, you may have recognized, if you've been in the lab with Tina, with myself, we're relentless. Okay. And what we mean by that is if you're on a training, we're going to close the doors and you're not going to get out until you change. Yeah. And my approach with my clients is, my clients are going to change, and one of us is going to die trying, and it ain't going to be me. Okay, so you kind of need to know. No one's died yet. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, I've not done a survey, but I'm pretty sure they've all got out of it alive, yeah, and better. You kind of need a bit of an attitude, yeah. But the most important attitude to get right is the attitude of curiosity, yeah. And you if you by week 16, I expect you all to have a bit of a beard, okay. And if you don't have a beard, you should be doing this. That's interesting. Oh my goodness. What does that mean? Yeah, good. I'm just checking to see who's actually practicing. So by week 16, we're going to be building upon all the different skills. You're going to be getting lots of little skills. We're going to be teaching you about eggs and flour. Not it's metaphorical. Okay, by the way, it's not eggs and flour. So we're going to teach you like eggs and flour and milk and sugar. And then you're going to start to put them together and come up with all sorts of things. And then by the third, fourth part of the course, you're going to be starting to be creating your own creations and doing the work. So many of you want to be working with people with PTSD and obsessive compulsive disorders, and they go, slow down, okay? Let's just go there ourselves first, okay? Let's just work on ourselves a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you one simple technique that you're going to practice. You're going to practice it and practice it and practice it. So it becomes, I've worked on this one, the discipline becomes a who you is-a-plin. I've never got that one any better than that, okay? So the discipline is learning how to be calm and relaxed in any situation. Who here thinks that would be useful? Calm and relaxed in any situation, yeah. If you can keep your head while all around you losing theirs, maybe you don't understand what's going on. And it's good not to understand. But I want you to have a technique that you can quickly use and you go, I'm in a good state, because your state will affect everybody else's state. Make sense? So it's super, super simple, super, super easy. You will not be given any notes for the next couple of weeks. The reason is the notes are outside of you. And if you're watching the notes, you're not letting the information in, okay? So when myself or Tina do a demonstration, pay attention to the demonstration, try it on yourself, then you get the chance to output. Make sense? So that if any of the assistants, and by the way, we've got assistants, you know who they are, because in front of the name it says the word assistant, okay? We try to make things easy for everybody. They will be jumping into the breakout room with their cameras off. The cameras will only come on if there is a need for anyone to go, can you help me? But the can you help me shouldn't be, can you tell us the instructions? Okay? Because you already know the instructions. They are there to take names and come back to me and go, yeah, Moni was really good. Elaine was amazing. Inca, fabulous. What's his name? Okay, he goes in the book. I'll make a note of that one. All right. They are our eyes and ears, letting us know what's working, who's doing the work, and if there's any challenges. Okay. So here's the exercise. It was my daughter's 28th birthday yesterday. So we bought her a birthday cake, and I got her to blow the birthday cake candles out. So I've got a picture of it. So here's the candle. In a minute, you're going to blow the candle out. Okay. We blow to clear the lungs. We take a deep breath in to roughly the count of 7, roughly. It could be 6, but roughly 7, okay? We hold the breath. We look up with our eyes, just our eyes. So it's the eye in the socket. If you look up like this, it's not the same. That's moving the neck. So it's the eye in the socket. You might have seen that on stage shows where we go, look out into the audience and look up at the stage lights. And they do this, and you see people, their eyes glaze over. And what's happening is their eyes and their brain are harmonizing and resonating to the frequency of the lights. But the eye in the socket also puts the brainwave into theta. They're going into a trance state just by doing that. You ever seen children try not to cry? They're changing their brainwave patterns. Yeah. And you release dopamine, happy drugs. Yeah. So we breathe out, breathe in, roll the eyes up. We then close the eyes and breathe out and relax the jaw. It's like Tai Chi, Qigong. There's a movement to it. Yeah, so as we breathe out, relax the shoulders, relax the body. We feel wonderfully relaxed. Here we go. Ready? I light the candle. Blow the candle out. Smooth breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold the breath. Look up with just your eyes. Close your eyes. And as you breathe out, relax the jaw, relax your shoulders, and then just comfortably breathe in and out at a rate that's right for you. Now, open your eyes. Shake yourself out. How does that feel? Feel good? Yeah. Now, notice how much better you feel now compared to the way you felt before. Okay. I'm not going to go into what happens during that exercise. That's a technique I developed when I was working with literally hundreds and hundreds of patients, people with Tourette's, epilepsy, multiple sclerosis, fibromyalgia, things we're not training you to go and work with. But these people would turn up really anxious and I needed them to relax. So I put together a couple of pieces of work that I knew worked and changed people into one simple technique that takes 20 seconds to do. Now, whenever I get to work with a client, I make sure I'm in a calm, relaxed state before they come in. Okay, so we're going to do it one more time. Ready? Breathe out, blow the candle out. Smooth breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hold the breath, roll the eyes up, close the eyes, and as you breathe out, relax the jaw, relax the shoulders, and you breathe out to roughly the count of 11. That's right. And when you've done that, just shake yourself out. Got it? Feels good? I mean, I know it's working because half of you yawning, okay? Which tells me most of you, the brains were switched off. You just oxygenated your brain. It's gone, hey, time to wake up and switch on. Yeah. Now, by the way, what you've just done is you've just done your first self-induction. I use this for self-hypnosis. You put yourself into a calm, relaxed state, and you've actually closed your eyes. And the first induction you get anyone to do is you get them to close their eyes. Paul mentions this. So the simplest induction is when you say to someone, close your eyes. So let me just check time. Fabulous. Right. Now, this is the exercise. You're going to guide somebody to do, that's called the 7-11. I called it the 7-11 to make it easy for people to remember. Okay. Is that simple enough? Right? You breathe in for 7 through the mouth. I know people go, is it through the nose? If you want, but through the mouth, we get loads of oxygen in that way. And breathe out through the mouth. And roughly the count of 11. You guide them to do that. So you're going to get in your rooms shortly. There'll be 3 people in a room, ideally. One of you could go A, B, C. First challenge is deciding whether you're an A person or a B person. Just decide, okay? The A person, you are the operator, the person that's going to do the hypnosis stuff, okay? You're the operator. Person B is the subject, the person who's going to close their eyes, okay? Person C is the observer. Now, the observer role is really important. You watch the subject. Start to pay attention. Just notice what you notice. Notice it. I'm not going to tell you what to look for. You'll start to notice subtle signs. You'll see that someone's drifting into a relaxed state, or maybe they're going in the wrong direction. And maybe the operator's paying attention, because the operators, by the way, the magic's on the outside. Pay attention to the person you're working with, okay? You might say something, go, I've taken them down the wrong path. Let's come back the other way. And can you stay out the chat? If we want you to give instructions to people, we will make you a team leader, please. Yeah, the chat, if someone's in the chat, it tells me they're not paying attention to what's going on here, okay? You will hear me and Tina saying, stay out of the chat room during the labs. That's like sitting in a training room and you turn to someone going, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you wouldn't do that in a training room, would you? Yeah. So if you're in there chatting, it means you're not actually listening to the instructions. So what you're going to do is the operator is going to get someone to do the 7-Eleven, and then they're going to take them on a journey. The journey could be as simple as this. There's a beautiful garden. Wander down through the garden, through the pathway. It could be a real garden in your imagination, and there are flowers. Notice the smell of the flowers. Go over it, maybe even touch one of the flowers and get a scent of the scent. It's a beautiful summer's day, and you look up in the sky. There are clouds in the sky, and you might see the hand of God reaching down to man, or you might see a horsey and a ducky. So you can be very creative, okay? You're just going to take them on a natural journey. It doesn't have to be something which is beautifully scripted. Think of somewhere you've been and just take them on that journey, okay? And then you're going to bring them out of the trance state or the relaxed, let's call it a relaxed, eyes closed state. And how do you do that? It's really simple. You go, so in a moment, you're going to open your eyes and come back to the room. Ready? Take a deep breath in and open your eyes. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to open their eyes and they're back in the room. All right. Now, let me just check the time. Yeah, I want to make sure you've got about 20, 16, 24, 8 minutes apiece. Oh my goodness. 8 minutes, that's a long time to be talking. Well, you do the 7-Eleven, you practice it. We're going to get the chance to practice it once, seeing it be done, 2, having it done to you, and 3, doing it. Yeah. You take them on that journey. If you run out of garden, take them to a beach. Okay. If you run out of beach, take them to a mountain view. Just be creative. And this is, I'm going to give you one of the couple of the magic tools as hypnotherapists. Okay. I mentioned this yesterday in the Q&A. If we get stuck and we don't know what to do, just remain quiet for a moment. It's magic. Yeah. 2 words. I love these 2 words. That's right. What does that mean? It means that if they're sitting there experiencing something which is beautiful, just go, that's right. Let them experience it. And you go, okay, now where was I on holiday last? Now don't get too specific, okay? Don't go, you are in the hotel, such and such. And there we go. Their brain will be going, no, I can't relate to that. You want to be artfully vague, okay? So it's your chance to take someone on a beautiful journey. Okay. Now, please, if you are the operator, keep your eyes open as well. It's tempting to go there first, which we want you to do, but you're missing what's working on the outside. Yeah. One of the feedback we get from the assistants most times is they've all got their eyes shut. They didn't even know I was in the room. Okay. We understand that. Okay. But keep your eyes open and pay attention to the person, because you might find, for example, you might take them to the beach and you might see they're not reacting. There could be a reason for that. Yeah. In which case, I'm going to change the story, take them somewhere else and see what works. Fabulous. So let me just double check the time. 9:30, 24. Yeah. So we're going to, I'll make it easy for you. 7 minutes apiece. How about that? Do you want the 7 minutes or do you want the 8 minutes? This is 7 minutes. This is 8 minutes. I want to test to see. Yeah, okay. I'm going with Inca. Yeah, 8 minutes then.